Hello everyone, I welcome you to my YouTube channel Professor Civil Bundle. Here I speak about civil engineering and you will find my various video lectures on various topics of civil engineering over here. So in the last video we were discussing about flow measurement through various devices like orifice, mouthpiece, mainly orifice and mouthpiece. Now we will read about the two more devices that are used for flow measurement, that is notches and weirs. So what is a notch? A notch is a device having an opening in the side of a tank or a small channel used for measuring the flow rate of a liquid through it. So it is a device which you have a tank, and at the side of it you will find this device fitted, and it can be of any shape like rectangular or triangular or even stepped or trapezoidal, and this is fixed with a small channel and used for measuring the flow rate of the liquid through it. Whereas a weir is a concrete or masonry structure, generally in the form of a vertical wall and sharp edge at the top running all way across the open channel, placed in an open channel over which the flow occurs. So just you can note one difference, that a notch is for a small channel and it is generally used in the labs, whereas a weir is basically a regulating structure and it is made of concrete or masonry and it runs across the whole open channel and placed in an open channel over the which the flow occurs. So it might be placed on a river or in any artificial channel, and thus weir is a very larger structure as compared to the notch. What is nappe or vein? A nappe or vein is the sheet of water flowing through a notch or over a weir. Weir is called a nappe or vein. Suppose this is the notch or the weir and water is flowing like this, and it will be flowing out like this. So this thing is known as the nappe. This thing is known as the nappe or the vein. The crest or seal is the bottom edge of a notch or tap of a weir over which the water flows, is known as the seal or crest. So this part of the notch is known as the crest or seal. So let's classify the notches. So according to the shape of the opening, it can be rectangular, triangular or V, trapezoidal, parabolic and stepped. Also according to the effect of sides on nappe emerging from a notch is notch with end contraction and notch without end contraction or suppressed notch. The classification of weirs can be classified on the basis of the shape of the opening, again by that is rectangular, triangular and trapezoidal only, and according to the shape of the crest it can be classified as thin plate or sharp edged weir, narrow crested weir, broad crested weir and ogee shaped weir. According to the effects on the sides on the issuing nappe, it can be classified as weir with end contraction or contracted weir, weir without end contraction or suppressed weir. Finally, according to the discharge condition, it is freely discharging weir or submerged on drowned weir. So what you can do is that you just note the different types of weirs and notches, and over the internet you can go through the pictures or diagrams related to different weirs or notches, and then you will get a good idea about it. So flow through a rectangular or sharp crested notch or weir. Now here is the diagram of the notch. Just go through this diagram. You can see the crest or seal over here, and this is the nappe. Similarly, this is a rectangular notch and this is a rectangular weir. We will do the derivation through weirs and through notches of different shapes. This is the diagram of a rectangular notch, and note that here is the crest and this is the nappe of the flowing liquid or suppose water. And also note that this is a sharp crested rectangular notch, and the height distance between the crest and the nappe is taken to be h. H is the height distance between crest and nappe, and L is the length of the section. Suppose this is the side view, and if I am looking it from this side, that is the front view, then I will get to know that this is the length of the section. And let us consider that there's one elementary section or a horizontal strip of thickness dh, and it is of same length as that of the section, and also dh is the thickness of the elementary horizontal strip of water flowing over the rectangular notch or weir, and thus h also it is at a depth h from the top of the surface of the water. So this is basically the section of the water that is flowing outside. And also let us take that CD is the coefficient of discharge. So now the area of this strip will be L times dh. So area of strip is equal to L times dh. Now we will determine the value of the discharge, that is suppose dq for that particular section through the elementary horizontal strip of water, and after getting the expression of the discharge through the elementary section, we will now integrate between the limit suppose 0 to h, and we will have the expression for the discharge over the whole rectangular notch. Now let's take dq is equal to, suppose CD is the coefficient of discharge, times area of strip times the suppose theoretical velocity. Because we know area times velocity and the multiplied by the coefficient of discharge will give the actual discharge of the flow through the crest, and therefore CD times area is L times dh times the theoretical velocity is root 2 gh, because we have derived in the previous lessons that theoretical velocity is equal to almost root 2 gh, and we need not to prove that. For help you can look over this. So now let's integrate. This is 0 to q, and let us suppose that the dh is over here, and it is suppose 0 to capital H. So upon integration it will be q is equal to CD times L times root 2g times. Now root h will be integrated, and it will be h to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2, because the power of h is 1 by 2 over here, and this will be from 0 to h, and at the end q will be equal to CD times L times root 2g times, this one will be capital H to the power 3 by 2, and this will be upon 3 by 2, we can write it as a new coefficient as 2 by 3, and this is the discharge through a rectangular notch. Now we have a triangular or a V notch, and I am taking that H is the total head of the water from the bottommost part of the notch, and that is the head of the water above the V notch. H is head of water above V notch. Now let theta is the angle of notch. See, theta is available in various angles like 45, 60, 75. So V notches are available in various angles. So now this theta can be of any angle. We are taking it as an arbitrary value, that is theta is equal to the angle of the notch. And also let us consider the elementary section over here of thickness DH. DH is the thickness of strip and H is the depth of the strip. Small h is the depth of the strip from the free surface, and CD is suppose the coefficient of discharge. So thus we will determine again the value of discharge small dq for this particular elementary horizontal strip, and after getting the value of this dq we will then integrate with respect to 0 to h for the height, and thus we will get the expression for the entire notch. The process is quite similar to that of we did in the rectangular notch. So dq is equal to again CD times area of strip times the theoretical velocity, and it is equal to CD times. Now to get the area, let us do one thing. The area of strip suppose I have theta, and I can write that, and I have also demarcated as A, B and O, and also this part is suppose the C, the center. So now area of strip, how to get the area of the strip? To get the area of the strip, I'll consider that this theta by 2, suppose I will make it over here AC, and this is theta by 2, and this one is a right angle triangle, so I'll apply the laws of trigonometry. Tan theta by 2 will be equal to AC upon OC, that is the perpendicular by the base, and AC OC you can write as, suppose this is the length OC, it is the capital H minus the small h, that is our OC. So OC can be written as, now it can be written as tan theta by 2 is equal to AC by H minus H. So I'll put H minus H, or you can write AC is equal to H minus H times tan theta by 2, right? And width of the strip is AB. AB is the width of the strip, and it is equal to 2 times AC. Therefore AB is equal to 2AC, and that is equal to 2 times H minus H tan theta by 2. Therefore area is the half base times height, that is half times AB half times AB times OC, or suppose just keep the area of the strip we know as area of the strip will be equal to 2 times h minus h tan theta by 2 is our length times dh, this much. So area of the strip is like, we are considering that this strip is very small, so it can be considered as a rectangle only. Just ignore the small bends and let's just consider it to be a rectangle. We got this length, that is 2 times of AC, and that is this one, and this one multiplied by this height will give us the area, and thus this multiplied by dh is the area of the strip. Now on this equation, this thing can be written as dq is equal to CD times area of the strip is 2 times h minus h tan theta by 2 times dh times the theoretical velocity is suppose root 2 gh. Alright, so I have this thing, and suppose if I integrate this one, and upon integration it will be like q is equal to 2 times CD times tan theta by 2 times root 2g will be a constant, and I will take h terms inside, and it will be like 2 by 3 h dot h to the power 3 by 2 minus 2 by 5 h to the power 5 by 2, taking the limit as from 0 to h. So upon solving this equation, we will get q is equal to 8 by 15 CD times tan theta by 2 times root 2g times h to the power 5 by 2. This is the expression for the discharge through triangular or a V notch. And for a right angle triangle V notch, for right angle V notch, CD is taken as 0.6 and theta is equal to 90 degree, and tan theta will be therefore theta equal to 90 degree, and therefore tan theta will be theta by 2 will be equal to 1, because theta by 2 will be equal to 45 degree, and therefore for a 90 degree discharge will be substituting this as 1, discharge and CD as 0.6 and root 2g value we know, discharge will be equal to 1.417 h to the power 5 by 2 for a notch with theta equal to 90 degree. Now let's note the preferences of triangular notch. Why triangular notch is preferred over a rectangular notch, and it is said that the expression for discharge for a right angle V notch or wear is very simple. As you know, we obtained the discharge for rectangular for a right angle V notch is very simple, and right angle V notch is used widely. Also, ventilation of the triangular notch is not necessary, and again the triangular notch will provide more precise results during measuring low discharge as compared to the results obtained from a rectangular notch, and this is obtained experimentally that it will give a precise result. The triangular notches will give precise result as compared to the rectangular notch, and for rectangular notch we need the readings of both H and L. If you check the expression for rectangular notch, we need H and L, both the readings of H and L for the getting the discharge of the rectangular notch. But for getting the discharge of a triangular notch, we just only need to know the value of this H, because the value of this theta by 2 will be known to us, because we will be knowing which notch we are using, and other terms like the root 2g and cd will also be known to us because they are constants. So this is why you can say that the triangular notch is quite advantageous as compared to the rectangular notch. Now here's a diagram of a trapezoidal notch. It's a third type of notch, and just note the diagram. You can see that a trapezoidal notch is a combination of a rectangular notch and a triangular notch, right? See, the two halves of triangle are on the two sides of the rectangle, and also we have the rectangular notch. So you can say that discharge of the trapezium QF QAB EDCF QABEDCF is equal to the discharge of BED plus the discharge of ABCD plus the discharge of ACF, right? The discharge of this triangle plus the discharge of this rectangle plus the discharge of this triangle. So you can say that this triangle BED and ACF together constitute a V notch, right? Suppose this is A or B, or this is C or D, and this is our F and this is our E. Then we can say that these two together are the triangular notch. So I can write that Q triangle together, this is BED and ACF, plus Q rectangle, which is the QABCD. And what is the discharge from the triangular notch? The discharge from the triangular notch is equal to 8 by 15 times CD. Suppose it is CD1 times tan theta by 2 times root 2g times h to the power 5 by 2. H is common for both rectangular and triangular notch, so I have only one H. CD might be different, that's why I am writing CD1. And also plus for rectangle it is 2 by 3 times CD2 times L times root 2g times h to the power 3 by 2. L is this length, this is the bottom of the trapezium, or you can say it is just the length of the rectangular portion. So now the final discharge will be equal to Q is equal to 8 by 15 times CD1 times tan theta by 2 times root 2g times h to the power 5 by 2 plus 2 by 3 times CD2 times L times root 2g times h to the power 3 by 2. So this is our equation for a trapezoidal notch. Now this is the final type of notch that is possible, that is a stepped notch. And in the stepped notch you can see that this is the shape of the stepped notch, and this is the free surface of the liquid or water that is flowing through the notch. And you can note that I have divided the notch in the various steps. The various steps I am considering are three as the three separate layers, right? Suppose these are three separate layers, and all these layers are again like a rectangle. So in other words, you can say that the discharge through a stepped notch is summation of the discharge through the rectangular notches which it is comprised of, right? So just now again note the dimensions. Suppose the bottommost section 1, the length is L1 and the height is the depth is at the bottom of the bottom part is at the depth of h1. So you can say that the height is h1 minus this h2, because the top part is at h2. Again for 2, bottommost part is at h2 and the topmost part is at h3. So this height can be said as h2 minus h3, and similarly this one is h1 minus h2, and for the third one it is again only L3 and this one is h3 only. So therefore the discharge is equal to q1 plus q2 plus q3, and it is equal to 2 by 3 times CD times L1 times root 2g times h1 to the power 3 by 2 minus h2 to the power 3 by 2. Alright, you can say that this term minus this term will give us this velocity, this discharge, and therefore I am writing it like this. Similarly it will be plus 2 by 3 times CD times L2 times root 2g times h2 to the power 3 by 2 minus h3 to the power 3 by 2, and finally it will be plus 2 by 3 times CD times L3 times root 2g times h3 to the power 3 by 2, and thus it will be the discharge through the step notch. So now just let's do some numericals related to the notches. So here's the first question. Find the discharge of water flowing over a rectangular notch of 2 meter length and the constant head over the notch is 300 mm. Take CD is equal to 0.6. So we have the length of the notch as 2 meter and the head as 300 mm, or it is equal to 0.3 meter. CD is given to be 0.6. So the discharge for a rectangular notch is Q is equal to 2 by 3 times CD times L times root 2g times h to the power 3 by 2, and it is equal to 2 by 3 times 0.6 times L is 2 times root 2 times 9.81 times h is 0.3 to the power 3 by 2. Therefore the discharge will be equal to 0.582 meter cubes per second. Now it is given that determine the height of a weir rectangular of length 6 meter to be built across a rectangular channel. Max depth of the water is given 1.8 meter in the upstream side and discharge is given 200 liters per second. Take CD is equal to 0.6. So we are asked to determine the height of the rectangular weir whose length is given to us and the depth of the water in the upstream side is also given. So it will be something like this, that this is the weir. Suppose this is the weir and water is flowing through it, and this is H1 and H1 is given in the question as 1.8 meter. let this height of the crest be h2 and this be h. So now length also we know, length is given as 6 meter, and again Q is equal to 2000 liter per second, which is equal to 2 meter cubes per second. 1000 liter, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liter, and CD is equal to 0.6. So we know that Q is equal to 2 by 3 times CD times L times root 2G times h to the power 3 by 2. So by using this expression, I'll get the value of this h, that is this much. This much will be obtained by this much, and thus on obtaining this h, we know this one, we can get the height of the rectangular weir. And so Q is equal to 2, Q is 2 meter cube per second, it is given in the question. 2 by 3 times 0.6 times L is given 6 meters times root 2 times 9.81 times h to the power 3 by 2. On solving this, you will get h as equal to 0.328 meter. So now h is equal to 0.328 meter. Therefore h2 is equal to h1 minus h, and it is equal to 1.8 minus 0.328. Therefore h2 is equal to 1.472 meters. In the third question, a discharge of 100 liter per second is to be measured by triangular notch of vertex angle 60 degree. So we have a triangular notch, the vertex angle is 60 degree. What would be, and the discharge is also given to us. Now what would be the head over the vertex of the notch if the accuracy in the reading of the head is 1 mm? What error in discharge can be expected at this level? So we also have to find the error in the discharge for an accuracy of reading in the head at 1 mm. CD is given 0.58. So Q is equal to, for triangular notch 8 by 15 times CD times root 2G times tan theta by 2 times h to the power 5 by 2. So now Q is 100 liter per second, so it can be written as 0.1 meter cube per second, because 1000 liter is equal to 1 meter cube, is equal to 8 by 15 times CD is 0.58 times root 2 times 9.81 times tan theta by 2, theta is 60, so it will be tan 30 times, let us suppose that it is h1 to the power 5 by 2. So therefore h1 is given as, by solving this we will get h1 as 0.437 meters. Now writing the equation of discharge, discharge can be written as Q is equal to, suppose it is kh1 to the power 5 by 2, as Q is directly proportional to h to the power 5 by 2 for a triangular notch, and let us take that K is the constant of proportionality. So I am writing Q is equal to K h1 to the power 5 by 2. So therefore the derivative will be dq upon dh1, suppose, equal to 5 by 2 K h1 to the power 5 by 2 minus 1 is 3 by 2. Now let's put this one on this side, and it is dh1, suppose, and now dividing equation, this equation 1 and equation 2 we will get dq upon q is equal to 5/2 dh1 upon h1. So on dividing 2 by 1, this is by 2 by 1, we will get this. And now they are saying that dh is suppose the head, that is 1 mm, the accuracy in the head, that is 1 mm. So if dh is 0.001 meter, so 1 mm can be written as 0.001 meter, and h1 we got as 0.437 meters. So therefore dq by q is equal to 5/2 times dh1 is 0.001 upon h1 is 0.437, and that will be equal to 5.72 times 10 to the power minus 3, and it is equal to 0.572%. And now q is equal to 100 liters per second, that is 0.1 meter cube per second. Therefore dq by 0.1 is equal to 0.572%, or it is 5.72 times 10 to the power minus 3. Therefore dq is equal to 0.572 in liters per second. So that was all about the notches and wears. You can also check some examples related to the trapezoidal and stepped part. These examples are very simple and will be totally based upon the formulas of that which we have derived in the theoretical part. So thank you. Please, if you feel any doubts, please do not hesitate to write in the comment section. Also, please like and share my video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you.